Greetings, fellow magical wanderers. I'm going to start off by saying this is going to be a direct spirit channeled message. Spirit of high vibrational, unconditionally loving guidance. That's all that I channel, always. And there's a threshold that we are surpassing right now as a collective. But it's a bit uncomfortable because we're facing our shadows and our own set blockages. We're facing it head on, and it's uncomfortable because these things are mostly things that we thought we healed, perhaps even a while ago. But now that they're surfacing up in this new light, you are going through another purification phase that is ultimately bringing you into your higher optimal form, which could literally be you like ascending the density and enlightening as a conscious vessel of clear fluid high vibrational energy, which is what it's all about right now. That's why the density is showing up, because we are alchemizing our physical form through this process. So all that can really be said is be patient, be gracious, be loving, be supportive, be all the things that you are needing for yourself right now. Be it. You are it. You are capable of all of it. Okay, and whatever you're desiring to achieve is literally already being achieved and lived by you. And what's happening is the physical is catching up. And before you know it, it's going to start speeding up. The acceleration process is already starting. So don't have any worries, any anxieties. Don't be overthinking too much about how hard you're being on yourself, or you're not in the place you were wanting to be or thought you would be in this amount of time or whatnot. Like, don't give yourself too hard of a time. Truly, it is actually unnecessary, and perhaps you are causing more suffering for yourself than is necessary, because sometimes lessons are learned and they are truly moved on from. But in the society that has been conditioned, we have been made to believe that we are to constantly be working on ourselves, and that there is constantly a problem that needs solving. Well, the truth of the matter is that's not true. The truth of the matter is you can completely heal. You can completely illuminate. You can completely move on. It's all up to you. I mean, the hands of the divine have been thrown up, because it's all you're doing. It's all by conscious choice and action of the free willing human being that is operating this vessel in order to make these physical choices in this physical realm. That's why divine intervention is something that is called upon. Now, if there's a situation in your life where you are really, 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 really authentically not able to do it yourself, and you know it, and you know that you need an angel by your side, whether that be physical manifest or literal energetic being supporting you on the other side, helping you cut spiritual ties or karmic ties or whatever, or a physical being helping you out through a physical situation that is painful or traumatic or harmful or dangerous, you know? Divine intervention is there all the time, always, whenever you call upon it. It is there, and it will show up instantly. Now, it's up to if you have the eyes open to be aware of this assistance presence in your life. It is there, but you may not perceive that it's there if you have the mindset, the actively empowered mindset of, I'm all alone. I'm doing this all alone. I have no help. There's no people around me that can help me in this. Okay. Continue having that mindset, and you're gonna make it a bit more harder. It's not gonna make it impossible for the divine to help you, but it is gonna make it a bit more uncomfortable because you're not in the mode of receiving the help. But if you genuinely want help, surrender your worries, surrender your attachment to any outcome, surrender the fighting back or the arguments or the potentially harmful situations or relationships. Surrender it to the divine and know that this is in good hands. Okay? You're not alone. Not at all. In fact, you never ever are. You're constantly surrounded, being you're watched. But there's no judgment. There's nothing like what the humans perceive, like, oh, I'm being watched all the time. Oh, they're watching me live my life, or oh, they're watching me do this. There's no judgment. There's not even a thought about it. What's happening is the soul is an omnipresent being, and it's connected to the all. It is spirit. You have spirit in you, factually. And so what happens is all of your timelines are present, and the divine is looking into all of your timelines, all of yourselves possible that you have ever perceived yourself to be literally. So it's all there. So if anything, if you're wanting to be somewhere and at some other place in your life that is feeling more fulfilling, or you're living your dreams, or you'd rather be somewhere else that's better serving to you, then if you're doing something in your life that isn't quite as productive or aligned with your goals or personal satisfaction, then that is where the divine whom is watching you will help guide you to a more aligned path. But still, there's no judgment. There's no say or them trying to interfere with what you're doing because you're doing it. Okay? It's simply let be. You are let be. And rest assured that in these coming times, when things are seemingly tossed up into the air like a salad, just being tossed and diced, and just, the world can appear upside down, and it can start to feel like you are alone physically. Maybe you lose a lot of friends because you wake up, you start seeing things differently, you start talking about things differently, you start having different mindsets that are no longer in vibrational match to the life that you're heading into, which is more aligned with a higher conscious awareness path, that perhaps your old friendships or even your family members may not come along with you on the journey. And this is when the path can start to feel more lonely. On the flip side of this perceived loneliness, you learn, perhaps through a hard time, through the loneliness, through experiencing literal loneliness. And that can be heartbreaking even. But you learn that the path and the road is best traveled alone, because this allows you to live your life as a sovereign being, co-creating actively, consciously, with whatever source you believe in, the God, Spirit, Yeshua, whatever. And that is how the divine is able to be fully present in your life, is when you're actually living sovereignly, you're living solo, and you are focused, you have all your intentions aligned with your goals, and your attention is laser focused on the craft of your life. You're mostly focused on what you are bringing into your life that is fulfilling your goals. And that allows the Spirit to be 100% present right by your side. You begin to see that the loneliness is an illusion. Because when you're connected to the all, there's no such thing as loneliness. Only the physical illusion of separateness can make you believe that. And that's the program. That's what is wanted for you to believe and for you to live like upon, is, all these things. But in this sense, it wants you to feel like, oh, if you're not surrounded by friends, then you're a loner and you have no one. You have no support, you have no friends, maybe you aren't connected with your family, etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. But this is because the soul is calling you into a higher timeline of itself. It's seeing so much grander potential and potentiality of living through. So naturally, you're going to be aligned with a path that is truly aligned with what you are to do here on earth at this time. And honestly, you can completely throw your hands up and let everything go. Sit with that. Sit with that truth. You can throw your hands up and let everything go. Recently, Hunter's been reading this book called Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And the last chapter that was read aloud is the law of detachment, which allows for the field of infinite pure potentiality to be tapped into, meaning the field of all and any possible possibilities to be unto fruition. And this innate sense of preparedness, because of how open you are to any possibility that may present itself, which comes through practicing the law of detachment. Now, this chapter was divinely guided for Hunter to read this evening because of what Hunter has been experiencing in his subconscious realms for a few days now. There's been a lot of shadow work that's been transmuting itself through the practices that he's having and mindsets he's shifting and new habits that he's forming that are actually serving a greater higher purpose to connect with the true self and connect with the truth of creation in life, which comes from a sovereign center of cosmic love. And with him reading this law of detachment and truly seeping in what it was talking about, it's allowing him the perspective of what true power, of the infinite possibility of any universal creation lies within the field of pure relaxation and effortlessness and ease. And when I say you can throw your hands up and let it all go, I mean it. Truly, in life, you don't have to do one single thing. You know why? Because you being is simply enough doing. By you just being, watch. If you decide to let go, throw your hands up, let go, and just be, you will find that you become a vehicle for the divine to move through. And therefore, you don't have to do anything because the Spirit is doing the work through you now. And that's guiding you wherever you are meant or called to be at that present moment. You know? It's very, it's a foreign state to humanity at this time to fathom the true idea and potential philosophy of relaxation and what that means, what it feels like. A working class society relaxing? Well, how is that going to allow me to survive, get my bills paid, have the food on the table, get the kids taken care of? I can't just relax for the rest of my life. Okay. If that's what you believe, that's your life. That simply is as it is. If that's what you believe, then that's your life. And someday you will connect with the truth, which is not aligned with that life, but it is true for you at this moment in your time. So you will arrive, and I trust and have faith in that. But humans, oh gosh, words to comprehend and explain this vision coming through. Humans are built to be vehicles for the divine to move through. The divine came into conscious physical awareness of itself to experience itself. Therefore, the ego self isn't supposed to be the only driver. But that's how it's been programmed to be, because the ego is an obeyer and will listen to what it's told to do. And when that ego is manipulated with fear-based tactics or mongering or manipulation of power, control, money, lust, sex, relationships, whatever, it can be manipulated into a way that isn't for serving the highest, greatest good or allowing the divine to move through it as a vehicle. Instead, it becomes the main driver and the GPS system and the idea that it knows where it's going. But as much as it is intelligent, and that is true, it has all those capabilities, it's been trained in a very toxic way to actually not be working for our highest, greatest good because of that manipulation. But that is possible to surpass and transmute that manipulation so that the divine can be allowed in and take a seat in the driver's and be the one that drives, so that the ego can allow its nervous system to relax and awaken its immortality. I truly believe and I see that humans and the form could have the potentiality of being immortal. But the industries that are absolutely filthy rich and power greedy, money hungry, will absolutely not allow that. So therefore, you keep drugs around, you keep unhealthy foods around, you keep unhealthy advertisements around, you keep constant distraction around. Well, it's going to poison the form, and you're not going to live 1,000 years. You're not going to live 200 years. You're not going to live mostly even 120 years or even 100 years. There's seemingly few people that are living to like 110. And that is such a linear time frame manipulation game that is not aligned with the truth. The life that the higher greedy money forces are wanting you to live is within a certain time bracket between age 0 and 100, but honestly 0 and 65, so that they don't have to pay all of your social security back to you once you stop working as a slave for their system. They'd rather get you sick, get you on pills, prescriptions, making you sit down on the couch, eating potato chips, watching TV, rotting your brain, and then have this false idea of retirement. I mean, come on. This sounds like a movie. It sounds like a movie. And it really it's been like watching a movie from the higher realms. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that humanity went in this direction, but at the same time it's it's just the gateway that's opening up to even brighter times. That's why it's so dark. um it's all in this process of transformation, and we're all part of that one by one. And it's we're all in this together. We're all in it together as one conscious awareness. And when you're connected to that oneness, you truly can throw your hands up and let it go unto the divine, and have the divine come down through you, come into you, and fulfill your life with blessings, abundance, fruitfulness, happiness, joy, life purpose, inspiration, direction, exuberance, illumination, adventure, wisdom. It, it's ever fulfilling. It's all the chalices you can even possibly fathom for yourself. Anything you want and desire can, I mean, innately, it's God righteous. It is your right to have what you are wanting and desiring. It's your right to be in that consciously creative power of literal magic and alchemy. Um, There's things that are changing, things that are moving out of the way, and something absolutely profound is going to be happening very, very soon that changes the trajectory of the whole world, all continents, all landforms, all cultures, all religions, all political ideas. This is something beyond man, and it's happening. And it is prophetical. And these prophets are still living and existing in other timelines in which we are beginning to see more clearly into, because the veil is paper thin. And it is the ozone is about to be ripped open, and the veil, the curtain, is going to fully drop, and the separation, manipulation, and illusion is going to be fully and truly seen for what it is, where it came from, whom it came from, and why. And let me just tell you, there's going to be a split. It's going to be the war of love. It's going to be a war of many light warriors, rainbow warriors, prophetical, all coming together, fighting this war with high vibrational conscious love source centers, going into the depths of this millennial age darkness and super secrecy, going into the core of that and lighting the lantern and illuminating it all for all to see. And lives can be completely different from what we perceive it to be right now. I can't even explain any more of that, because it's something we've merely only dreamt of. It's something our movies have merely even begun to imagine into picture form. Like the saying has always said, the movies don't do it quite as much justice as the book. Because the book is from the true source, from the one that is the author and that wrote it. Not going through the movie directors or the cast or the characters or the play scripts or the scenes. No. It's coming from the imagination of that one author. And you're waking up to the truth to find that you are the author of your life story. And that story can be written any way you want it to. It can have any ending you want it to have. It can even not have an ending. If you want to live forever, so mote it be. If you want to end world hunger, if you want to be that person that brings an uprising and conscious awareness to world hunger, to where, more systems are created to support people who are in starvation and just completely abnormal um, life experiences that are causing that suffering, then become the conscious creator and author of your story. Write that in, seal it in gold, put all your attention, set all your goals in that desired direction. And this goes for anything, by the way, not just ending the world hunger, but any desire you have in your life. This is how it works to bring it to manifest. One of many ways. But this is the most direct you can be in touch with the conscious God within you and allow it to co-create a life of true whatever you dream and see it to be. It's as simple as flicking a switch and the light turns on. Flicking the switch and the light turns off. It's not the power switch that holds the power to turn itself on and off. It's you that chooses to flick the switch up and down, turning the light on or off. So whatever your choice may be, it's going to have the direct effect, cause and effect. It's going to have the direct effect of it promoting you or demoting you. And they both walk hand in hand. You're going to learn something either way. But if you want to be coming from more of a conscious co-creator, author seat, where you hold the power, yet you don't abuse it, and you don't ask for more. It's not even, life is not even about this term more. What does that even mean? More? More. In a life that is so abundant, full of anything you can fathom, who, what, when, where, why created this idea of more? What does it mean? And where could that come from? Because if you are speaking of the word more, then you are presuming a state of internal lack. You're decreeing unto yourself that you are not having enough, which means you're lacking sustenance of something. Sustenance. And that can definitely not help fill in the gaps of your conscious creative story if you are looking for that story to be fulfilled. If you're looking for the story to be fulfilled, you must fulfill it yourself. Simply. Do anything and everything you want or can do to fulfill that void yourself. And stop seeking outside, because that's only going to create more of a void and more of a problem. And that's what the world's also waking up to. That's why the systems are about to crash and burn, and light is going to reign supreme for the next thousands of years. So, yeah, it's time, ever more so omnipresently, to allow spirit to come through and live in this body, to experience itself. Why are we blocking that from happening? Are we insecure of losing some kind of illusionary control over a life that isn't just completely supposed to be ours anyways? You know, like, the divine came here to experience itself in conscious awareness physically. So why are we blocking the divine from coming in and living in this body? And when the divine does come in and live through the body, speaking as it's already happening, when it comes in and lives through the body, you find that the ego is the culprit of all separation illusion. Because the ego would love to have its life to itself. Selfishly, it would love to just be itself, right? It doesn't necessarily want to have to share. But what the ego needs to be trained upon is spirit is worth sharing this life with. Because the ego is coming from a traumatized, wounded state in having that belief. It's not wanting to be walked over, it's not wanting to be abused, it's not wanting to be told what to do or how to act or how to feel or what to see or what to say or what to hear. It's not wanting to be told how to live its life. Just like the system does every single freaking day on a very deep subconscious subliminal way. What it doesn't understand and what it's been blocked off from understanding is that spirit is no match to that gross low density energy of manipulation. It has no desire to tell you what to do. It's literally going to live life with you, through you. It's going to live life with you, through you. Meaning, you still get to make the physical choices and actions, but you may be more divinely inspired to be more intentional and genuine in those choices and actions that you're taking. You may start to be more mindful in the ego, being, oh, is this selfish? Or is this going to hurt myself? Or is this going to hurt others? Is this for the highest, greatest good of all? But still, with every action, with every choice you make moving forward, it's going to be just as powerful as it is now. I lie, saying that. It's going to be even more powerful when spirit lives with you, through you. Because that conscious intention and aligned desire for the highest, greatest good of all is what makes evolutionary change manifest in every single form you could think of. The most profound thing I can repeat right now is that when we allow Spirit to live with us, through us, mind you, notice how I do not place an and in between that. Live with us and through us. That's for a reason, because that and acts as a separation. It's a wall that's being put up. When you say that Spirit is living with you, through you, it implies oneness. So therefore, it's really, really about your allowance. With the kind of connection you want with your life. And with everything that's good in life. With everything that will make you grow. If you want that in which brings you growth and goodness and prosperity or whatnot in your life, then I will gently guide and encourage you to allow Spirit to live with you, through you. And that's all there is left to say at this time. So, thank you for receiving what you have received with your own discernment. I speak you have gained your own insight, acting as guidance or clarity or direction or whatever it was you were needing to hear at this time, clicking on this video for. There's so much. There's so much that I am wanting to convey, but words cannot fully do it justice. So I'm going to say this. In practicing the law of detachment, I'm coming to find that there's this shift that's happening in which humanity is awakening into the true form of love, which is cosmic source love, all-encompassing, unconditional love, just as Yeshua was teaching way back in the day. And when this happens, living from this unconditionally loving state of consciousness, nothing is just yours anymore. The ego is consciously willed out from being the whole equation. It's rather part of the equation, what gives the being the personality and the characteristics and the unique traits and whatever. But coming from this unconditionally loving space of consciousness to where nothing is simply just yours anymore, singularly. Selfishly, I should say, because singular is the point. It's connected to that oneness. But singularly and selfishly, um, upon seeing one whom is in need of life betterment or guidance, direction, loves, hugs, smiles, a better way of life, or simply inspiration or a compliment, or the jacket off your back because they're cold. Since it's no longer just your jacket, and you're living from this unconditionally loving space of consciousness, you willingly and openly gift that person the jacket because they are in need of it, perhaps more than you are. And you realize that. And you realize that there is no such a state as lack. It's not. And that's the state that humanity is awakening, is that cosmic love. And as chaos may seem to be raining down from the skies, the charities are coming together, the people are coming together, the conversations are happening, the hugs are being shared, the laughter, the love, the light, the healing, the cultural mending, the generational bonding is happening. And we have to place more of our attention in that direction now, more so than ever. And that's not being ignorant to all the darkness that's simultaneously happening. In fact, that's our motivating teacher that makes us feel like we want to come from the space of love and happiness in life even more, because it's time that life become easier for everybody. That's what it's supposed to be. I mean, life is completely changing and it's going to look completely different in the next 5 years. So continue coming from that space of love, unconditional. I don't care what they've done to you. I don't care. uh, I don't care if you don't care. Just love. Offer the gifts in which have been gifted unto you, coming from the state of abundance and inner overflowing fulfillment of that cosmic love. Whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm going to conclude it there. I love you all so much. I speak that you have, again, gained insight from this. And I love just coming on here and sharing these direct channels because, yeah, it's very affirmative and helps as a guiding system, like the stars, following our true north. Spirit really offers that clearly, that perspective, so precise and direct and inspiring, you know? So, if you haven't already, I do also recommend that you go onto my channel and perhaps watch the episodes of the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a very profound book. I know that you will get something beneficial from it for yourself. I also provide intuitive card readings on this channel as well, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Thank you also for being here and tuning in. And if you made it this far, I want you to put an angel emoji in the comments, signaling for the divine to come into your life and live with you, through you. And it so shall be done. So with that being said, I love you. I love you. And I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for all the people and friends I've met through this platform so far. And just through life in general. I'm so in love with life. And that's my fuel. That's everything I could possibly want, is just being in love with life. So I speak that you also have this grace for yourself as well, this blessing of love for life. It'll get you very far. So without further ado, that's going to conclude it. But have a beautiful rest of your evening, and stay tuned for an intuitive card reading sometime soon, and for more reading in the virtual book club. So yeah, until next time, namaste.